hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
on Pulse 95.
Although I kept saying wishful thinking, apparently wishes do come true, because during the Game Awards that happened on Thursday night, it was Friday morning technically.
Yeah, I had to wait a little before I could see the live stream.
I did watch a bit of it, and then I fell asleep. I couldn't stay up any longer. But again, wishes do come true, because Joseph Fares's Hazelight, which is the studio behind It Takes Two, was nominated in 5 categories, and it won 3 out of 5, including Game of the Year, which was exactly what I was hoping would happen, because this game was absolutely the Game of the Year for myself, at least. And I feel like maybe Mikhail can share some sentiment towards that as well, because it was a very interesting game, and it kept you on your toes throughout the entire time. And the best thing about it was a co-op or multiplayer game.
Yeah, it was. The thing is about this game in particular is it's been such a long time since I've personally played a couch co-op. It was a fresh breath of air for a lot of gamers out there. It tells a very wholesome and touching story, while also just being a fantastic co-op experience. And I think it was. I'm really glad that it did get Game of the Year. It's a very bizarre choice, I think, to most casual people out there. Like, oh, an indie game winning Game of the Year. But I think it's deservingly so, because recently Hazelight has been suffering from a copyright claim, and I feel they really needed that W. So congratulations to Hazelight, to Electronic Arts for supporting this studio. And I know this is just the beginning for them. And they have this philosophy of this couch co-op experience that they want to deliver, and which means that they're going to go full gear on any future projects.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to support them.
And I hope that this also kind of inspires other developers to go towards that direction, because after I finished that game, I was looking for any sort of co-op game that I can play with my friend, and I couldn't find anything of that, quality, of that, just something that interesting, something that makes you this excited. We tried downloading other games, but none of them felt even similar to It Takes Two. So I hope that more indie developers or even big studios would go ahead and encourage and support any developer who wants to go towards that direction. But in terms of best game direction, I don't think it comes at a surprise that Deathloop was the winner. It Takes Two was also nominated. It would have made sense if they had won over here as well. But again, congratulations to Deathloop. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think was
an absolute surprise.
It was a surprise, because it's a new game. And I feel like it's still kind of under the radar, despite the fact that Square Enix kind of hyped it up and made everybody excited about it. But I feel in comparison to the other Marvel game, the Avengers game, this one is very different and way better.
My good friend played it recently, and he said, no exaggeration, this is one of the better Marvel games I've played. 20 hours of just absolute fun. And if anything, the characters in those games actually far exceed the characters from the MCU. That's his personal opinion.
That's very bold.
I'm waiting for this game to go on discount. I'm definitely need to buy it. Winning Best Narrative, it's no joke. Now you have to actually sit down and play it.
Absolutely.
The one for me that I found very interesting was trying to find it here. It's a long list. But there's, Best Performance. This was awarded to Maggie Robertson. She's the one who played Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil.
I knew it. I knew you were going to mention that.
No, but I'm happy for her, because there was people really like that character when she got marketed, and especially in the game. But it was like this post-launch of the game that people really were so fascinated with the voice actor, and she started growing this platform for herself, and people just absolutely grew to love this voice actor and her personal performance for Lady Dimitrescu. So I'm glad she got Best Performance. She's definitely
she deserves it.
She deserves it. And she's definitely remembered for her role.
Yes, and the other category that I was super excited about, that I was like, if this game does not win, there's no justice in the world. I know I'm exaggerating, but that's how I felt. But luckily for me, is that Best Core Music goes to Nier Replicant. And you know what, guys? If you haven't played that game, just listening to the Song of the Ancients is enough to warrant you to say, yeah, this has to win Best Score. This is the least they can do for this game. Another interesting win is Best Community Support. Final Fantasy 14 won, and in comparison, if you look at the category, it won against very big names. I'm not saying Final Fantasy isn't a big name, but it went against Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. So congratulations to them. Other winners include Best Action Game, Returnal. We've got a Metroid Dread winning one category at least, so good for Nintendo managing to somehow win despite the many losses across many categories.
There's also a Best Mobile Game. This goes for Genshin Impact. Obviously, at this point, it's a no-brainer. But I like that Pokemon Unite did have a nomination.
It tried.
It was a good try.
It was a good try.
I mean, because when we used to play
it's a little bit too new, in my opinion. It's still growing, and I feel like maybe some popularity might be dropping, unfortunately. So until they can figure it out, I mean, when I try to play it, now it takes me over a minute or a minute and a half for them to match me with a team, which kind of is not a good sign for a game, especially those type of games. Best Family Game, I found that hilarious because all the nominations except for It Takes Two were from Nintendo, and it's basically what Nintendo is all about. We've got Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, and Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together. And they lost. They had a 4-1 chance, and they lost to It Takes Two. And that just tells you how big and important It Takes Two this year. So congratulations to, Hazelight and all the nominees and winners of this year's Game Awards. Coming up next, let's talk about the various trailers that were released during the Game Awards. Coming up next, right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Pulse 95.
Another big thing about the Game Awards happened to be the various trailers that usually debut in between the nominations and in between the awards being announced. And there were plenty of big ones, starting with Star Wars Eclipse, a new action-adventure game from Quantic Dream that is set in the High Republic.
Oh my God, yeah. Quantum Dream are known for making these very heavy, story-driven games. Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. And for them to actually dabble into the Star Wars universe means that we're probably going to get something really great from them. Also, another trailer that was a surprise to me is Monolith Studios. These are the developers behind Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. They're working on a new Wonder Woman video game.
Yes, that one took us by surprise. Like, I did not expect that game to be announced, or that just an inkling of that game being announced. But also in terms of Warner Brothers and the DC world, also got exclusive first real gameplay footage of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is something we have actually been waiting for a while now.
And looking at the gameplay trailer, I am convinced. I'm just thoroughly convinced. This looks like an absolute blast. I'm glad that they actually delayed on this game and pushed it to 2022. It seems like it's a lot more polished this time around. And I'm always looking for the next co-op, crazy, fun sort of experience I can play with my friends and family. And this looks like it's going to be the game for me, to be honest.
And also in between other announcements such as Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga basically coming back and Horizon Forbidden Forbidden West gameplay trailer. Also more revelations and more footage of that. We also got some TV show and movies in between. One of them being the Halo TV series. It looked good. It looked pretty good.
I am really managing my expectations for this TV series. Halo, the trying to make a live action Halo has been a serious development hell for everyone that was involved. And this is going to be streaming sometime in Paramount Plus 2022. Looking at the trailer, there's hope that this could be really great.
Absolutely.
But again, I'm just stepping back and I'm
dropping it down.
I'm just waiting. I gotta wait if this is gonna be worthwhile.
It makes sense. And obviously we've got a whole bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog announcements, including the Sonic Frontiers reveal trailer, also Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie trailer, and we got to listen to the sweet, sultry voice of Idris Elba as Knuckles.
And are you satisfied with
It's Idris Elba. What do you expect? What do you think, Mikhail? What do you think?
Case closed.
Case shut and closed, and just throw away the key as well into the deep, deep abyss of the ocean. Cuphead, the delicious last course DLC, also announced another surprise release, which means that I should try the game again.
Well, bear in mind, this DLC has been in the works for a couple of years. They announced this many years ago, and I understand this is the kind of project that is very, very demanding in terms of talent and skill. And I'm willing. I know I've been willing to wait for this DLC for a long time. Maybe it just became more ambitious than they anticipated, but they finally came out with a release date for it. It's going to come out in June 30th, 2022.
Yes, there are a lot more announcements, guys, but we can't sit down here for the entire hour to talk about it. So go check out the trailers if you can. We're trying to hype you up about them. They're incredibly cool. We're going to be taking a very short mini break. And coming up next, we're going to be talking about how Cowboy Bebop is announced to be canceled at Netflix after just one season. Coming up next right here on the Afternoon Karak.
If you liked this episode of Afternoon Karak, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse